Did you know the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, had two influential figures in his life? One was his biological father, the poor dad, and the other was his friend's father, the rich dad. The poor dad, Kiyosaki's biological father, was a firm believer in the traditional path to success. He prioritized formal education, urging Robert to study hard, land a good job, and seek security in that employment. The poor dad was a well-educated, hard-working man, yet he struggled financially all his life. He was always one paycheck away from financial disaster. On the other hand, the rich dad, Kiyosaki's friend's father, had a different approach. He was an entrepreneur who valued financial education above all else. He didn't have an impressive educational background, yet he was financially free and prosperous. The rich dad taught Robert that acquiring assets, not liabilities, was the key to wealth and financial independence. He emphasized the importance of understanding money, how it works and how it can work for you. These two influential figures offered Kiyosaki two distinct viewpoints about money, wealth, and life. His poor dad believed in working for money, living from paycheck to paycheck, and clinging to job security. The rich dad, conversely, believed in making money work for him, building wealth through investments and entrepreneurship. These differing perspectives created a unique blend of wisdom and insight that shaped Kiyosaki's understanding of money and wealth. He learned that you don't have to be a high-income earner to be rich. You need to be financially literate, understand the difference between assets and liabilities, and let your money work for you. The different views of these two dads shaped Kiyosaki's understanding of money and wealth, leading to the 6 lessons we're about to uncover. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Sounds counterintuitive, right? But here's the thing. While most people exchange their time for a paycheck, the wealthy approach it differently. They make their money work for them. Instead of being stuck in the hamster wheel of earning, spending, and saving, the rich focus on building and growing their assets. Let's take Mr. Kiyosaki's rich dad as an example. He was a businessman and investor who used his money to buy assets like real estate and businesses. These assets then generated income for him even while he was sleeping. His money was his employee tirelessly working around the clock. It's a shift in perspective from working for money to having money work for you. The rich understand this concept well. They invest their money into assets that generate more wealth, so the rich focus on acquiring assets, not just earning a salary. Moving on to Lesson 2, the importance of financial literacy. Picture this. You're navigating through a dense forest with only a map in a language you can't understand. That's what dealing with money feels like without financial literacy, like walking blindfolded into financial pitfalls. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kiyosaki's rich dad stressed the importance of understanding financial terms and concepts. He didn't just hand Kiyosaki a fish, he taught him how to fish. He encouraged Kiyosaki to learn about taxes, investments, and other financial matters, to make sense of income statements and balance sheets, to understand the difference between assets and liabilities, to comprehend how money works. It's not just about making money, it's about knowing how to manage it, how to grow it. Financial literacy isn't just a nice to have, it's a need to have. It's the language of money. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. No, this isn't about being nosy, it's about taking control of your financial future. Most people focus on their professions, but the real secret to wealth, according to Rich Dad, is to concentrate on your own businesses. Think about it when you're working for someone else who's really getting richer. Sure, you're earning a salary, but the business owner is the one who's really growing their wealth. Rich Dad urged Kiyosaki not to fall into this trap. He encouraged him to start his own ventures, however small, and to nurture them. It's about creating and maintaining assets, whether that's real estate, a side business, stocks, bonds, or intellectual property. This doesn't mean you should quit your day job, but don't let it be your entire financial strategy. Start your own business, invest, and let those investments work for you. So focus on building your own financial empire, however small it may start. Lesson 4 talks about the world of taxes and corporations. Now, this is where things get interesting. Rich Dad shared with Kiyosaki a priceless secret: the power of corporations. He explained how corporations can serve as a shield against taxes, the biggest expense for most individuals. A corporation earns, spends, and then gets taxed on what's left. In contrast, an individual earns, gets taxed, and then spends what's left. See the difference? Let's take an example. Consider two entrepreneurs, one running a sole proprietorship and the other a corporation. Both earn $100,000. The sole proprietor pays taxes first, leaving him with less to invest and grow. The corporation, however, invests in assets, pays its expenses, and then pays taxes on the remaining income. This leaves the corporation with more funds to reinvest and grow. Therefore, understanding taxes and corporations can be a game changer in your financial journey. Lesson 5: The rich invent money. Intriguing, isn't it? Now, this doesn't mean they're printing bills in their basements. What it means is that they're innovative. They create new ways to generate wealth. They're not just waiting around for the next big thing to come their way. Instead, they're out there making it happen. Let's take an example from the book. Robert Kiyosaki talks about a friend who bought properties in foreclosure and sold them for a profit. He didn't have a pile of money to start. With what he had was an inventive mind and the courage to act. Take the real-life example of Elon Musk. He didn't just sit around waiting for someone else to revolutionize the electric car industry or space travel. He went out and did it himself. This lesson is all about the mindset. It's about seeing possibilities where others see obstacles, so the rich don't just wait for opportunities, they create them. Finally, Lesson 6. Work to learn, don't work for money. This principle encourages us to place a higher value on learning and skill acquisition rather than simply chasing a paycheck. It's about adopting a mindset that prioritizes personal growth and development. Consider this: if you work solely for money, you're likely to stop when you've earned enough. But when you work to learn, there's no limit to your growth and potential. You're constantly evolving, improving, and increasing your value. Rich Dad believed that the most valuable asset we have is our mind, our knowledge. And the more we learn, the more we can earn in the long run. So instead of choosing a job solely for its salary, choose one that offers you the chance to learn to grow and to challenge yourself. In this way, the wealth you accumulate isn't just monetary, it's intellectual, experiential, and infinitely scalable. So focus on learning and the money will follow. Let's do a quick recap. Firstly, we learned that the rich don't work for money, they let the money work for them. Secondly, financial literacy is not a luxury but a necessity. It's about understanding numbers and the difference between assets and liabilities. Thirdly, minding your own business means focusing on building your assets. Fourthly, understanding taxes and corporations can help you retain and grow your wealth. Fifthly, innovation is key. The rich invent money by being creative and finding opportunities where others see none. Lastly, don't just work for money. Work to learn the skills and knowledge you acquire are your most valuable assets. The wisdom from Rich Dad, Poor Dad is not just about earning money, but about understanding money. Remember, wealth isn't about how much money you make, but how much you keep, grow, and pass on.